Are you tired of being crusty, dusty, and most of all, musty? Do you want to be that guy that when he walks into the room, everybody's like, ooh, what does he have on? He smells great. And when you leave the room, everybody's like, oh my God, was he there? Oh, Kaelin was here. I smell him. Do you want to stand out in the elevator because you smell the best? Do you want people to come up to you and be like, oh my God, you smell great? Stay tuned. What's up guys, it's Kaelin and I am back with another video. Today's video is going to be all about fragrances, all about cologne, perfume, all the things. I'm gonna be telling y'all everything you need to know about fragrance, body fragrance specifically. In this video, I'm going to be using Dossier Perfumes as an example so you guys can understand everything that I'm talking about, from fragrance types, classifications, percentages, because sometimes it can get really confusing, especially when you're on a website and you really don't know what the hell it means. So I'm going to be breaking all that down for you. But before we get into this video, you know what you gotta do. You gotta subscribe, okay? You gotta subscribe and hit the notification bell because this is free game that I'm giving y'all, and all I'm asking for is for you to subscribe. I think that's fair. I think it's fair. If this is your first time seeing my face, welcome. My name is Kaelin Williams. I do anything from men's lifestyle content, tips such as today, and vlogs, all the things. So, you know, if you just want to have a good time, this is where the party is at, okay? Welcome. Join the family. If you're not new here and you have not subscribed, you are fake, but this is your time to redeem yourself, okay? Yeah. There you go. Okay, well, we're here. Okay, let's jump right into the video. Okay, so first and foremost, we gotta get 2 or 3 things out of the way, okay? First of all, cologne. A lot of times people just throw that word out there and they're like, oh my God, yeah, specifically guys. They're like, I got cologne, I don't get perfume, perfume is for women, whatever. Let me debunk that, okay? So first of all, perfume and cologne are body fragrance categories. However, perfume is not just specifically for women. Cologne is not just specifically for men. These are actually classifications of types of overall perfumes, which is P-A-R-F-U-M. So yeah, just so you know, like, that's not what that means. We'll get a little bit deeper into the classifications, but I just wanted to debunk that because a lot of people are like, cologne is for men, and that is not true, okay? If it says for men, it is for men. If it does not say for men, it is probably gender neutral or specifically for women, but usually it's like the gender neutral for women's side, and it all is really just based on what scents you really like. Some guys like a little floral but like woodsy scents. Some people like the floral clean scents, and those may be for women specifically. However, it is usually gender neutral, and as we all know, gender is a construct, so it doesn't really matter anyway. And so fragrances are just essential oils, water, and alcohol or alcohol. So now let's get into the differences, all right? So when talking about colognes, we're talking about them in class. When talking about perfume or fragrances, we are talking about them in classifications on how much actual percentage of perfume oil is in the product. So when you look at something and you see something like Eau de Toilette, who may be like 5 to 15%, or something like Eau de Parfum that may be like 15 to 30%. That's how much perfume oil and fragrance is in there, but also it affects the longevity of the actual product. So when you have something that's on the lower end, it may be a little bit more cost effective. Those are the ones that you get from like Zara and stuff. The Eau de Colognes, those are stuff that you get from like Zara or H&M or wherever, which no shade because I have some of those as well. Those work for about 2 to 4 hours, but they do have more water and alcohol in them than actual perfume oil. So that's why you do have to respray them a couple of times, like throughout the night if you're trying to wear them for all day, because it will fade away. They only last a small amount of time. Now, Eau de Friage, I've never seen that, but from the description, it's basically like those body sprays that you get from like the corner store or something, which again, no shade to those either, but they are mostly just like water. They stay on your skin for about like an hour or 2 max, but they're there for a quick refresher if you have like a long day where you don't really want something that's really strong. You just want something that just has a light smell to it. If you're just doing like something for around the house, or you just want to smell nice around the house maybe, or if you want to go to someone else's home and you don't really want to put on a full-on fragrance, you just want them to smell like a little cute, that's what I would get. Once you get from there, that's when you get to Eau de Cologne. Those are the ones that you get at like H&M and everything. Granted, they do have body sprays as well, but specifically I'm talking about their colognes that they have. Eau de Cologne is something that people see and they're like, oh, cologne, that's guy stuff. No. Eau de Cologne really just means that it has about like 2 to 4% perfume oil in there. So Eau de Feuillage, which is the lower one, which like I said, I really don't see Eau de Feuillage on there. I just see body spray. Those are the ones that's mostly water. It's gonna have like 1 to 2%. Eau de Cologne also has a lower percentage. It also is very cost effective, but it only has about 2 to 4% of actual perfume oil in there. Cologne is really an umbrella word. It really stands for Eau de Cologne. It's going to be your lowest amount as far as concentration goes and as far as price goes, because Eau de Feuillage, like I said, I don't really see that word anywhere, but it's usually body sprays. Those are probably going to be cheaper than Eau de Colognes. But when you think of cologne, you think of those things when you go into like H&M, Zara, Abercrombie, Hollister, all of those like colognes that they have there, those are colognes technically, because they have a lower percentage of actual perfume oil in there. It's usually gonna be about 2 to 4%. They're gonna last you a couple of hours. They might be really, really strong at first, but they're gonna wear off very, very quickly. But they are cost effective. Those are those things I usually, if I'm going somewhere and I have sprayed one of those on, I probably keep that thing on me because it will wear off, especially if you are sweating, especially if you are outside. You're not gonna really smell it that long, and it definitely is more cost effective than buying really, really expensive like Tom Fords and things like that. It's gonna be way more cost effective, but it comes with a shorter wear time. To be fair, I have worn all of these, from the body sprays, the colognes, the perfumes, I've worn them all. And I will say they're all for different usages. I won't say that like one is better than the other. Of course, when you're looking for bang for your buck, when it comes to colognes, it may seem like, oh, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna be able to like wear this whenever. It's super cost effective. But if you're somebody who does like to smell nice all the time and you're wearing that all the time, A, they can be a little bit drying, and B, you're gonna run through product really quickly because they just don't last that long. So after about 2 hours, and if you're somebody who sweats or is super active, they're definitely not gonna last that long at all. And then you're gonna have to respray, and you probably will have to respray like a couple amount of times. The idea is that when you have like higher quality ones, 1 or 2 sprays, and you smell great all day, you know? So Eau de Toilette. Eau de Toilette is like that step above Eau de Cologne. So when you look at Eau de Toilette, a lot of those are probably gonna be like your Maison Margiela ones. Those are gonna be not as expensive as like the really expensive $200, $300, $400 colognes. However, they are about like the $100, I'd say about $75 to $100 for the bottles. They're gonna have a little bit lower concentration as well, but about 5 to 15%, usually leaning about like the 5 to 10% as far as I've seen. The 5 to 15% as far as concentration goes, they are gonna last you for the daytime. Those ideally are daytime, they're lighter scents sometimes. Also, all of these things, results may vary and are based on your preference, but ideally daytime use, because they do have like still a little bit more concentration than, say for instance, like the Eau de Colognes or the Eau de Feuillage, they typically like wear off in about like 4 hours, but sometimes just because like they do have a little bit more oil in them, like when they're reactivated by sweat or moisture in general, you might have like a whiff of it again. That doesn't mean it's gonna last like another 4 hours, but you might still smell it right there. But it also is more so close contact and personal, just because you know your own body chemistry. But Eau de Toilette is still just like that very nice like starting cologne. I was, after going from like Zara and H&M colognes, then that's when I went to Sephora and I got Maison Margiela. Those are really, really nice because they do last a long time. They do last, especially for day wear. You will get compliments on your smell just because you smell nice. It is louder, and when I say louder, it's just as far as like the throw is like a little bit bigger. Like if I was in a room next to somebody or in an elevator, they'd be like, he smells nice. But they're not necessarily gonna be as strong. Sometimes with the Eau de Colognes, because they have more alcohol in there, they may have like more volatile essential oils in there just to try to like balance it, A. And 2, so it will like seem like it's sprayed, like it's lasts longer. That's why when you go into Hollister and you're in there for like 20 minutes, you're like, God, I have a headache, because they spray the area with that scent. So you end up just inhaling it for a long time, and sometimes they can give you a headache just because it's the mixture of alcohol and very strong essential oils, which may not be everybody's cup of tea. However, with Eau de Toilette, you don't really have that problem just because they're ideally for lighter scents. So you're not gonna have some of those like really stronger essential oils in there usually. Again, results may vary. So, and I say next to highest because the highest is Parfume, but for right now, we're just going to stick with Eau de Perfume, which I know can be a little bit confusing, but I'll explain. So that's where Dossier comes in. So Dossier actually is a brand that their whole brand image is about giving you the luxury scents at a fraction of the price. So for example, so this one is Oriental Tobacco. It is actually based off of Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. So Dossier, the whole idea behind the brand is that they reproduce or dupe classic fragrances, really luxury, expensive fragrances, which this one right here is actually based off of Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. This one is Oriental Tobacco. So the idea is that they take those, and when you get products like that, like the higher end products, a lot of times you're not necessarily just paying for the product, you're paying for the name, you're paying for the taxes on like just the branding and all of that stuff. And that's how you get to $200, $300. The product is actually really, really nice. However, you're not necessarily just paying for the product. You're paying for the aesthetic of having Tom Ford. You're paying for the branding, the boxing, all of that stuff. With Dossier, they try to eliminate that. So it comes in a very standard box. It's nothing super fancy about it, which if you're looking for the luxury experience, you're not gonna get that with them. You are gonna get really good customer service. However, you're not gonna get the Tom Ford unboxing experience. Like, that's just not what they're there for, but that's also what you pay for when you buy Tom Ford. With Dossier, you're gonna get the same quality of product, but without all the frills and without being taxed for it. So you're gonna get the same quality of product, but without being taxed hundreds of dollars just for the perfume. So like I said, it comes in this box. Typically, they do come with these, and some people will probably still get them if you order them. So when you order them, you might get one of these little spray testers because they do have a risk-free try-on. So the idea is that a lot of times whenever you go onto websites and you see all of the notes and everything, and which we'll get to those in a second, but when you see the notes and everything, that's when you like can get an idea of the fragrance. If you're a more seasoned fragrance vet, you probably will know what those things mean and how it might smell. But of course, it can say something on there, and then when you actually get it, you're like, this doesn't smell exactly how I thought it was gonna smell. So they give you these little testers. Some of them do have them, some of them do not. They're trying to cut back on plastic just because they're trying to be sustainable, which we love. So they allow you to try the actual full-size bottle and return it, and they also donate all returned products. So that's really, really nice for them, because I really like this idea, because I do like to have something that I can have on the go, because I don't like to carry these around. And if I was rushing, or if I want to respray or change another like scent layer, another scent on there later on, I can do that because I have just one of these. Versus with these, I have to take these around. I could possibly waste it. They might not fit in my bag, whatever. But I really do like these and the idea of having something else. However, if you're just looking to try them, this is a great alternative, just so you can get a little spray, be like, ooh, I love it, ooh, I hate it, and just return the product and not have to even deal with anything. So Dossier actually sent me two of them. We have Oriental Cherry and then Oriental Tobacco. These are both based off of Tom Ford fragrances. I've actually used this one, and so I will be able to talk about this one a lot. I have not used this one as much, but this was the one I was super excited about, which was the based off the Tobacco Vanille, and this one is based off of Lost Cherry. Both of these are very, 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 very popular fragrances from Tom Ford, so I was definitely interested in trying these. Both of them, which I love. Like I said, I haven't really tried this one. I sprayed this one once and I liked the smell, but I haven't really like given it a full wear test. I have done this one, so that's why I can talk about the product just a little bit, because I've given it a wear test, all of the things, and yeah. So going back to percentages, these test at about 18%, so they do classify as eau de perfumes. So like I was saying, with eau de perfumes, these are gonna last a lot longer. These are gonna last you about 6 to 8 hours. So all night essentially, so all day or all night essentially. So if you spray it on at the beginning of work, probably by the end of your shift you're still gonna smell it. For me, before I went out for the night, and I went out, trust me child, I had a great night that night, but that's not what we're here to talk about. I had a great night and I smelled amazing the entire time. It lasts, in fact, the next morning I could still have like a whiff of the scent on my clothes, because it is just that concentrated, and it didn't dry out my skin. It didn't leave my skin irritated or anything. So I was really, really impressed, because these right here are about, I think these are retail for about 39 to 50 bucks, versus like I said, Tom Ford is, look, you're looking at $250, $300 plus for Tom Ford, which these retail for about like 39 to 50 bucks. So 40 to 50 bucks versus $200-$300. Definitely gonna go with this one, especially because it does last you a long time. When we go back to the notes, Dossier does provide you with these little cards so you can get the notes, the inspiration, where it came from, concentration, and then how it works. So at the top, it just shows you the notes. So specifically for this one, the top notes, which are what you're gonna smell when you first spray it, those are gonna be tobacco, ginger, and apricot. So it does give you like kind of a earthy-ish spicy scent to it at first when you get it on there. The middle notes are honey, vanilla, and cocoa. So it does give you like that vanilla sweetness in the middle of it, especially like throughout the day. My body chemistry, as far as like what I put on my body, and it also plays along with your natural body chemistry as well, but the natural things that I put on my body to moisturize are also like shea butter, cocoa butter, vanilla kind of fragrances, so this already mixed well with that. And then the base notes, which are the ones that are going to last the longest, those are the ones that you're going to smell like in about 6 to 8 hours, and what is going to be left over, those are going to be tonka bean, dry fruits, and blonde woods. So it still gives you that earthy scent, very masculine scent, but it does give you those earthy, woodsy, masculine scents, but it does have the sweetness in the middle of it, which I really love, because like I said, at first it seems like it's going to be a lot spicier, not necessarily as fruity, but, and I don't really live for fruity smells. It's no shade, no tea, but I just don't personally live for fruity smells. I also don't really live for like the clean linen smell, like those aren't my gig anyway. I really like if there is a little bit florally woods, or just like a nice light woodsy smell, or really anything with vanilla. Woodsy and vanilla, I'm sold. The other one that I received is Lost Cherry. This one says that the top notes are cherry, almond, and cinnamon. The reason why I was intrigued by this one is because honestly, my grandmother, her favorite lotion was Jergens, and you know, they have like the cherry almond scent to their lotion, and I always loved that. So that's the reason why I was interested in this one. But it's not super florally. It's actually really earthy as well. So the middle notes are cloves, rose, jasmine, and plum. And the base notes is Peru, balsam, tonka bean, and vanilla. So it still does give you that earthy, sweet scent at the bottom, but then it has like just like a little hint of like the cherry, and it gives you a cherry nutty fragrance at the top, and then it ends with like that sweeter, woodsier smell. So I really live for it. And also the idea is that you can layer these. So if you spray 1 and 2, you can use those separately together to make a different smell, whatever you want. Sometimes with Eau de Perfumes it can be a lot if you mix them, but Eau de Toilettes for sure you can like layer them and like add them on, because they're just lighter in general. These are a little bit deeper, so sometimes some of those deeper scents can kind of clash, but if you already know what you like to smell like, you can do it, totally. Now, like I was saying, there is one above this, which is like a higher percentage, and it's pure perfume oil. It's super hard to find those. They're also super expensive, because like I said, these would normally retail you about $200 to $300. Those can be $400 or $500 plus dollars, which honestly, I'm just not that into fragrance that much. Like, I don't think I smell necessarily bad, but I also know that like I can do this and be out for 6 to 8 hours and do this, rather than just having pure perfume oil, unless it's something that I just truly love, and it's on an occasion, like, you know, when I'm getting married, or if I'm going to like a huge like event that I'm like hosting or something like that. That's where I would maybe wear those. But for the everyday usage, definitely this is above and beyond. Like, you don't really need one of these if you're like just going out partying all the time. Like, if you want to smell really nice and you're looking to get into fragrances, these are definitely where I would say to go for Dossier, because you can get that high-end smell for half of the price. Not even half the price, a fraction of the price. But if you're trying to just have like the aesthetic of Tom Ford, or the aesthetic of like Maison Margiela or Chanel or any of those like that, of course you can go get those. However, these right here, I would say, until like I just find a specific scent that I just really love and I want to have the bottle for it, I'm gonna be getting these, because this lasted all night. I got so many compliments on how it smelled. Everybody was like, wow, where'd you get this from? And yes, I told them, of course, but also I got a discount code for y'all as well, so y'all can pay a little bit cheaper than this. And if you buy 3 of these, you get a 20% discount as like a bulk deal. So you can spend, if they're all $50, you spend $150 on 3 fragrances versus spending 1 fragrance and spending $150. So I definitely say go buy these. And that's just not because they sent them to me, that's really because I love the smells. And these are 2 fragrances that I actually been looking out to get, because Tom Ford is kind of expensive and it's a little bit out of my budget, but I knew that I wanted to try these because I've heard so many great things about them, and anybody that I've shown them to that's liked these scents have also said that the Dossier versions are damn near the same. So I totally recommend the return the return process is super simple, because I know a lot of times my biggest fear is like buying products and then not liking the smell and not have been able to try them. So this one eliminates that hassle-free. You have 30 days to return your product. So if you try it, you get it, you try it 2 times and you're like, I thought I liked it, I don't really like it, you have 30 days to return it, which is really, really great, because like I said, I literally hate buying online sometimes because you never really know what you're gonna get until it gets there, and sometimes people do not allow you to return products. So with them, it's super cool that they allow you to do that, especially if they give you one of these little samples in there. Super amazing, because you can just try it, like it, love it, hate it, whatever, and then go about your business. Their mission statement is to provide high luxury end products at a fraction of the price. So you don't, like I said, get the experience, the nicer fragrances like the boxing and like the packaging, all that stuff. You don't really get that, or the name brand of it. However, still, to me, a cute bottle. I can put this up somewhere and it's still cute. It has the name, it gives you the notes, cuts all of the guessing out of it. And like I said, they have a cool return policy and they are affordable. Like, I could go to H&M or something and get maybe like a $20 cologne, but why would I do that when I have one of these, and these actually smell a lot better, they last longer, and why would I do that if they're actually dupes of my favorite fragrances anyway? Like I said, these test at about 18%, so that's pretty damn high, because normally Eau de Parfums, they're gonna test you about like 15 to 30, so this is still within that range, just a little higher than even the minimum. So I love it, and yeah. But without further ado, that's the video. I just want to give y'all the tea on fragrances, because I know that when I first started getting into fragrances, I was very, very confused. I really didn't know what scents I was looking for. I didn't really know what to look for as far as perfumes go. I was still stuck on colognes because I was like, that's for guys, so I'm going for that route. So I was very, very lost. I want to give you guys an alternative so you guys can be able to try out more fragrances at a cheaper price, rather than spending hella money and then not liking it, or only using half of it and being like, ah, dang, I don't really like this no more. Because as we grow and as we like learn more, we end up saying, oh, I don't really like this smell on me, I like this smell. Or the things that I wear for naturally every day, like my moisturizers and my, maybe even like my oils that I put on my body naturally, don't really mesh well with this anymore. So whatever. That's why I was super happy that Dossier sent me these, because I was already interested in trying the product, because I did see them on Instagram, which I will link their Instagram below as well. But I also wanted to try the actual products that these are dupes of, and I'm not buying the products. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna buy Tom Ford when I get the coin, but for right now, and even once I have it, when I would rather use these on an everyday basis, because for the product, if I'm not looking for the aesthetic of like taking the picture with the Tom Ford on there, I can use these, and these are still gonna get the job done. I'm still gonna get hella compliments. I smell amazing, and it lasts all night. So I definitely would say go for it. Thank you, Dossier, for sending me these. And like I said, I got y'all a discount code below. So there's no reason for you to be musty anymore. You will not be leaving the house without smelling good, okay? Because you got you some Dossier. All right now. But without further ado, that's the video. I hope you guys like this video. If you guys want more fragrance videos, I can have those. I'm still learning about them, so I don't want to say that I'm a guru on everything, but this is the knowledge that I have. I want to share that with you guys. So definitely, if you have questions, let me know. But yeah, if you guys want more like of these types of videos, let me know in the comments. And I hope this helps somebody. So yeah, you know what I always say, you stay cute, you stay classy, and you stay kind. And I'll see you in my next video. All right. Love you. See ya. Bye.